musically, artistically, what's changed between the two, between these in these 3 years?
Um, a lot, I'd say. I guess the way I look at creating an album has fundamentally changed.
Okay.
I look less of it as a project or like a culmination of songs and more of a standalone project, I guess. Like each album is treated like its own entity, which I think just means I put more effort into making sure there's some sort of cohesion, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, because
Yeah, so the songs all sort of feed off each other in some way or another. Even if they're not the same style, like this upcoming one that's released March 3rd, not all the songs sound the same. There's different styles. I'm experimenting with more genres and whatnot.
Yeah.
But when you listen to it front to back, they sound sort of, at least like they belong to the same album. I would hope, at least.
How would they be similar? Is it in terms of the key or the BPM or the lyrics? How do they connect? How do they interconnect with each other?
I would say overall, all the songs are connected by like a sort of raw, how would I describe it? It's less produced than my first album was, in the sense that the songs have less of a focus on structure.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not just doing, okay, let's do a verse, a chorus, a verse, a chorus, a bridge, a chorus.
Okay.
I'm sort of going, where does the song need to go and where does it want to go? So some of them have maybe like a 2-minute bridge. Some of them have maybe one verse total, you know? It really depends on what the song feels like it needs.
That is deep. This kind of reminds me of this development in your artistic life is kind of reminded me of Queen, the band. I remember when the talks were going on about creating Bohemian Rhapsody, it was kind of controversial for a lot of people because they were like, this song is literally it's literally not one song, right? Sorry, my mic got muted. It's literally multiple songs in one song. They were like, it's not going to work out. It's too long, and there's too much variety of songs. People are not going to like it. But they did because it created something where kind of the artist had more control over the song than any theory or any music theory for that matter. So
yeah, and I feel like you treat the art differently when you're trying to create a product. Like if you're trying to structure it a certain way, it becomes less of what it's supposed to be if you just let the idea grow naturally, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly, absolutely. And you know what, I feel like there's no particular way a song is supposed to be other than the way that the artist wants it to be, right? Because the artist...
Definitely, yeah.
The artistic touch of the artist himself should reflect in the song. It shouldn't be something that you just produce following the book and you realize that there's absolutely nothing that you wanted that was on this track. That's probably...
Definitely. It's like if you try and structure Bohemian Rhapsody, you're not going to be able to do that, you know? And if someone tried to copy that song, it just wouldn't work. That's what makes it unique.
Exactly. It's not as if they knew where they were going. It's just that they knew where they had to go, but they didn't have an end result in mind. Also, you know, I would have to talk about, for that same matter, We Will Rock You is just literally the same verse over and over again until there's a really cool small guitar solo in the end, and then the song goes on, and it's really unique because it never felt like that until you actually notice what's going on, and you realize it's actually one of the simplest songs structure-wise that you listen to. But
and it still works.
An absolute hit. It's a hit. It's like one of the biggest hits of the decade at that time. So,
it's sort of like, what does the song need to be? I'm trying to take myself away from the art, and that's partly why I changed, you know, the project name to something else instead of...
Is there any way that you can possibly explain it in technical terms of how the song kind of writes itself?
I would say there's two good analogies for it. One of them comes from, I think I have the book here. It's one of my favorite books. Okay. It's specifically on creation. It's called The Creative Act by Rubin.
Okay.
Amazing book on the philosophy of songwriting and creation as a whole. And he describes creating a good song as like building a house in the mountains. And it's a house that no one's ever going to visit. You know, you're the only one that's ever going to live there, but you still pick the furniture that you think would fit the house, and you still make it beautiful and something you would want to live in, even if no one's ever going to see it. So it's sort of like when you're making a song, you want to make it the best you can, but you're not trying to apply it to any certain person. You're not trying to make it something everyone would enjoy. You're trying to make it the best house in the mountains you could be, or that the song could be, sorry.
Oh, cool. So if I'm not interpreting it wrong, it would be that the house is kind of something that the song has to be led towards, and the furniture is kind of the production that you're currently working on.
Exactly. So you sort of assist by getting the furniture, but you're not deciding what furniture goes, right? It's sort of like, oh, this house is already in the mountains. This color just works here. You know, it's like, we're going to get this sort of couch versus this sort of couch. I don't know if this is making any sense, but
it is matter of fact, this is one of the clearest definitions of this topic right now.
Yes, it's all comes from Rick Rubin's book. He's an amazing producer, really good thinker, and I highly recommend his book.
Absolutely. You know what? I've heard some of his podcasts as well. They're really great.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
On, what is it? Tetragram?
The Tetra.
Yeah.
It's
awesome stuff.
Yeah, I got suggested this. You know what? I kind of don't remember. I don't want to take the wrong name, but it was suggested by another artist. So I don't know who it was exactly. Yeah, Tetragrammaton.
Yeah.
Tetragrammaton by.
Exactly. Yeah.
Who suggested this to me? Someone really suggested. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, that's really cool, man. Separating yourself from the art. That's wow.
Definitely.
That is.
And it's necessary in order to have the art do what it can do best. You know, if you try and put yourself into it too much, you try to turn it into something it's not. It's the other analogy I was thinking of, and I don't even know if this is the one that applies best, but if you're trying to make a decaf coffee taste like a regular coffee, you're taking away from the beauty of a decaf. You know, like if you have a decaf and you try and caffeinate it, that's turning it into something that it's not. So if you take yourself out and you just be like, what's best for the decaf right now? How can I make this decaf a better decaf? That makes it better.
That is actually an eye-opener because it's funny because sometimes some really cool people say some really cool things and people don't get it because I don't know, the way that they originally said it was kind of complex, but then analogies like this kind of break it down and kind of make you feel like, I'm actually understanding what he's saying. He's not saying it just to sound cool. So I absolutely get it now, and the Rick Rubin analogy is amazing, because I've always heard about artists saying like, I'm just gonna let the song write itself. Yeah, but what do you mean by that? Like, how does
exactly? No, it sounds really weird.
Yeah, and it's kind of really cool that I finally got some clarity on this because I've heard it a lot. So yeah, I really can't wait.
Definitely.
I really can't wait for that to come out, man. I'm always looking out for music because I'm sure we are all used and we love the mainstream music that we're hearing. I'm talking about The Weeknd, Ariana Grande, Bruno Mars, all these hits, Ed Sheeran, and they are really good at what they do. But sometimes, more than just the bops, you want to kind of focus on if there's an artist and how you can listen to their music and how it reflects artistically. Because it's not always about having a song. I don't know. Sometimes, the main thing is I feel like people are really afraid to try out new music nowadays. Do you agree with that?
I mean, depends on where you go, I guess. I think a lot of people look for smaller artists.
Of enthusiasts.
Just because of, definitely. And some people are cool just listening to whatever's on the radio, and that's totally chill too.
Yeah.
I think at a certain point, people that are consistently putting out hits almost get more concerned, and I'm not going to try and speak on their behalf, but I feel like at least some part of the creation of that song is going into how can I make this song a good pop song. And a pop song is fundamentally different than, say, a song an indie band or an alternative band would write. That doesn't mean there's anything, better or worse. It's just a different kind of motive behind the creation, I'd say.
Yeah. And I would say that a good example of this would be where I come from. That would be India or Mumbai, for that matter.
Right.
We have Bollywood over here. It's probably very much heard of, and everyone has heard about it. SRK, Shah Rukh Khan, and Priyanka Chopra. Pretty good examples of how they've taken this international. But I also want to talk about the composers in Bollywood. A lot of the songs that our Indian audience knows about is mainly the songs that they mainly make for films. So a director is trying to make a film, and he's like, you know what? I want to have a lot of what I hope to be crowd favorite songs, and I'm gonna hire a music composer for this, and he's gonna make songs that talk about the movie and that kind of give the same vibe as the movie does. And then these really immensely talented producers are hired for it. But the producers can't really work in their element in that song. They'll make really good songs, but at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure this is really not worked out well for a lot of people. But unfortunately, the music producers and the composers never truly get complete control of the song like they normally would like it to be.
Right.
Like, there's a lot of money.
That's fair.
There's a lot of fame. There's a lot of appreciation that goes for your art. But if the general audience kind of looks beyond this and kind of questions like, is this really what A.R. Rahman wants to make, or is this really what Vishal Shekhar want to make, or is this really something Amit Trivedi wants to make, or Salim Sulaiman for that matter? You may or may not have heard these names, but okay.
No, I haven't heard, but I understand and respect the weight those names must carry. And that brings up an important point, that there is an intersection between commerce and songwriting.
Yeah.
And or creation, I guess. Rick Rubin talks about that in his book too. If you're in that position where you have to do your best as that producer or as that performer for a song that you don't have control over, it's different than creation.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. It results in an end product that, at the end of the day, you have two songs, but you're going at it two very different ways. So it's always interesting to hear those songs. And you can almost sort of tell, like you were saying, that the producers wish they could have done something a little bit different, that sort of thing.
Yeah, actually. And I'm going to get to the album very soon, but I want to just slip in one really cool example. Because of this absolute epidemic of film music in India, we never truly get to hear what composers want to make. We never truly get to experience the essence that they're going to create if they had it all to themselves. So these past 5 years have been extremely wonderful for the Indian music industry, because a lot of the composers that mainly made songs only for Bollywood projects are now slowly shifting away. They're creating their own record labels. They're creating their own YouTube channels.
Oh, cool. That's neat.
I know, and you finally kind of get to hear what this artist was aiming to make all these years that they were working in the industry. They were always making songs for the directors. Oh, the director says, I want this, I want that. Can you make it a bit like this? And at the end of the day, the original artist's touch is completely gone. So I'm starting to hear, I'm going to suggest some of these to you. I'll send you the links.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a Bhumi project by Salim Sulaiman. It's a composer duo, and they have finally started creating their own music. Every year there's a lineup of amazing artists from all over the industry and the world, or maybe this is the industry, and they all come together to create music that they truly have intellectual and creative freedom over. And it's really cool to see this happen. I mean, I'm sure you've always seen this happen in the West, but in India, it's a really
that's neat.
It's a beautiful transition that we're getting to see. A lot of the composers I have seen and I know don't do as much film music as much as they do their own music, which is kind of a really beautiful thing for the audience to experience. Although the following is a bit less than what they would normally get for their Bollywood projects, it's still a beautiful thing to see. Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah. And
I'm sure at least, to some extent, they find that more valuable, finally being able to have that creative control over the project.
Absolutely. It's like their brainchild,
So, yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's cool. Good stuff. I'll check those links out when you send them.
Of course, yeah. And let's get to the name of your album, man. It's Valleys and Mountains.
Valleys and Mountains, yes.
It's a beautiful name, but I really want to know what was going on when you thought of a name for your album.
So this album started 3 years ago now. It's been a long time that I've been working on the project. And throughout these past 3 years, there have been dozens of songs that have been cycled in and out of the project. The only thing that stayed the same was the name. And the reason for that name was, originally it was a concept album about someone trying to find themselves in the woods, like getting lost and having to find yourself. And this epic journey, going through metaphorical valleys and mountains to find themselves, right? And so that concept completely went out the window a few months later. But I thought, this name's kind of cool. I might as well keep it.
Yeah.
And by the time I submitted the album, I didn't even think, oh, maybe it's time for a new name, because everything has changed about the project. But you know what? It's every time I think about it, it reminds me that I started it 3 years ago. Where it ended up is completely different from where it started. But in allowing it to change, I allowed the songs to be better than they maybe would have if I didn't.
Okay. Yeah, actually, because although I know you're talking about separating yourself from the music, but since you are the composer of the songs, it's kind of cool to see that because you gave the songs time to change over the course of 3 years, the main reason this probably happened is because your own life and your own personality and your own circumstances kind of changed. So artistically, I think
Definitely,
you were developing as well. So you could say that you and the songs
100%.
both grew up together, and it finally got
Yeah.
released, and you finally
Absolutely,
posted
yeah.
it. So yeah, of course it would have been different. Of course, matter of fact, I even posted about this similar post actually, that you are the result of all those cumulative years and seconds and moments that you've experienced in your life.
Yeah, I just saw that post. I loved it.
And yeah,
It was really neat reflection.
Thank you, man. And that's exactly what you're doing with your songs as well. The more time you give,
Definitely,
the more
yeah.
value it kind of creates, because it's kind of collecting all of those moments of you trying different melodies, of different chord progressions, and finally coming to something because you went through all of that. It's a beautiful
Definitely, yeah.
process, and you would have never gotten that in the first track. And I feel like
100%.
music is so much more than just the music that you listen to. It's about what actually went into putting and making the song. And
Yeah,
that's
and you can
it.
tell
Yeah.
when there's a lot of meaning behind the music.
No, I really appreciate artists like you kind of taking their time, but they value the quality of the song more than, oh, I just got to post it, I got to come up with a new song every month, and I got to keep
Definitely.
my fan following engaged. But then at the end of the day, the songs don't have the same value, especially when you hear about what you have done over the 3 years to get to that song. When you listen to the song,
Definitely.
it's a completely different feel, And
100%.
I feel like it's a different feel. For me, I think everything plays a different role. Whether it is the album cover or the artist's previous work that has kind of led up to them making this song, everything plays an effect in how I emotionally connect with the song. I don't know if
Yeah,
you feel the
that
same,
makes sense.
right? So, yeah, absolutely, man. This album is gonna be a banger. I have one
I
more
appreciate
question. I have
that.
one more question. The list I'm currently taking a look at is Falling, Afterglow, Still Under You, I'm Sorry, Streetlight, Radiance, Islands, Before You Turn Out the Lights, Resoar, and Time.
Yes.
If you can, in a nutshell, explain the titles of these songs. Although I am pretty much asking like a school principal would to the student. Oh, explain all these weird marks in your
Yes,
notebook,
exactly.
Vijay. Tell me what all these scribbles all about, huh? Yeah. But,
Yes.
What's it
I
about,
mean,
man?
that's pretty much all they are, is scribbles. It's some of them have to do with like a lyric in the song. Some of them have absolutely nothing to do with it. Like Still Under You and I'm Sorry both have lyrics in the song. Stuff like Streetlight, absolutely no correlation. Time, absolutely none. I don't think Resoar is a word. That was one of the first things when I had to save the Logic project for that song. It was the first combination of letters that I came up with. And I was like, okay, whatever this is, that's what it's called. And I forgot to change it. So that's why it's called Resoar.
Wow. And what would be the underlying theme for all these songs? What was it that you're trying to convey? If there's anything singular that you're trying to convey through all of these songs, because it does come under one album, so.
Definitely. There's a certain unplugged, like acoustic, even though not all the songs are acoustic, sense of, I don't want to say hopelessness, but maybe helplessness is a better term. Just imagine you're on a train and like you can't stop and you wish you could, and you're just staring out the window at all the things that are passing you by.
Mm-hmm.
That's sort of what the culminating theme of the album is, I would say.
Wow. That's actually a really good topic to start off, man. That's actually really cool.
Well, I'm excited for you to listen to it.
I'm excited, of course, man, and I've always loved your work, especially.
Oh, thank you.
Well, obviously OCI because I keep hearing to put it in my podcast episodes and all that. I'm definitely putting it for this one, and
Absolutely.
yeah, and By Sky, man, that's probably one of the first songs I heard of yours, and I kind of got hooked onto it.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah, man, I can't wait to
Definitely.
see where your career goes. I can't wait to have more conversations in the future with you, and
100%.
it's been a really refreshing interview, not only because of the things we talked about, but also because it's happening after 3 years.
Definitely.
It's such an amazing moment, Vijay. Thank you so much.
100%. Thank you. Hopefully we don't have to wait 3 years for the next one.
I really hope not. Yeah, every year. But also because thank you so much for being the first guest on my podcast, man. I feel like you contributed.
100%.
Yeah, you contributed to starting it all. Honestly,
I appreciate that. Thank you for reaching out.
You laid the first brick in the house, dude. Okay, so we really appreciate about that. We really appreciate the fact that you're letting us use your instrumental version of the song OCI for our intro videos. And
of course.
Yeah, thank you
so
much.
Keep working hard at it. I'm looking forward to seeing the podcast grow.
Of course, Vijay. Thank you so much. Take care.
Alrighty, take care, man.
Okay, bye, man. Bye.
Bye-bye.